Hello everybody, it's me, Jacob Buck / iSpirecraft, the host of Dead City. Today we're going to talk about the story of how Dead City was made. Now let's first talk about the idea. So about the name about Dead City is the fact it kind of a little bit makes sense. It's a city filled with the undead, so I was thinking with my 10-year-old self, I was thinking about making an amazing Dead City or amazing zombie series, and I just really wanted to make it special for you guys because again, I wasn't exactly that perfect with making things, but maybe someday I'll be pretty good. Alright, now let's go to the directors. Now, we do have my favorite directors of all time. Austin and Toxic are one of the directors of the Dead City. Now, we can talk about who they play as and who, of course, they voice as. So, let's see. Toxic plays almost everyone. Austin plays Harry, a bandit bad guy. I don't like you, mister. And Jake's friend. And yeah, so it seems like Toxic played a lot, and then the story about is like Austin was like, "Yo, dude, can I join Dead City?" And I was like, "Sure, I won't mind." Because we do need a lot of actors, and we really did need a lot of actors for this. Well, because the fact that we can't just have Toxic all the time. And Austin actually did a great job of bringing Harry back to life. Because Harry was kind of a deleted character from Dead City 1, if you guys didn't know about Harry. He was supposed to be in Dead City 1, but then that scene was deleted. And then that's how he was reunited in Dead City 3. Apparently the character that Austin made. But I guess we can see, Toxic made the character first, but Austin made a better idea with Harry. The fact that now he is more like a nice guy instead of an asshole. It's so great for this because, it's pretty great, pretty useful for what's going on. Alright, and the next one is the story. So, the mainly story of why we made... not the story, not exactly. But, the thing what we really wanted to talk about is, just, the story of the series. We wanted to make a bad guy. We wanted to make more characters instead of just Jake and Mike just killing zombies and literally about to go against each other. No, we didn't want that. We wanted more adventure. We wanted more explore. We wanted to make this as good as we can because we were trying our best with our 10-year-old selves. We were trying to make this game the best we can. And it was a lot of fun. So then Austin came along and actually kind of helped with the Dead City formula. He actually sometimes helped us with how it should be. Should it be survival horror? Should it be like epic? It's like I don't know. I guess we have to think about it another day. And we kept talking about how we should do it. And me and Toxic have been talking a lot about how are we going to do a new Dead City episode. So yeah, what we do every time, I say what we have to do, and then we do what I say we have to do, and then I start, editing. It does take a long time to kind of edit because I have to make sure there's bloopers at least. And I'm gonna tell you again, it really does take a while editing this good. I know you guys like, if you can edit that good, then why are you so bad at it? I'm not bad. I'm just slow. If that's what you're trying to say, it takes me an extremely long time. So that's not the answer you're looking for. I'm pretty sure. But again, it's just that it would be awesome. Mike killing one of Jake's soldiers, Now let's go to the early creations and delete scenes. Now the early creation we were going to do was do Dead City 6 more. But of course that got deleted and then we started not doing it anymore. Well, probably because of a copyright strike or a strike from Dead City 6. And we did have a delete scene where Harry was kind of supposed to die in Dead City 4, but that got quickly scrapped because I didn't want Harry to die, and neither Austin did. And there was, of course, a actual deleted scene of, again, what I was talking about of Harry. Because Harry was actually supposed to be in Dead City 1. We're going to talk about that again. The fact that Toxic was voicing Harry, but then Austin just made a whole different Harry, because the Dead City 1 Harry was supposed to be more like a little aggressive. He was like a guy that protected people in a safe house. He was more like, I think, pretty sure he was going to be a soldier, and then he failed, but then he's trying to act like a soldier. Pretty much that's kind of the story. And oh boy, it took a while to get the story in, I can tell you that. And more about it. It's nothing really more to talk about. I think there's one we gotta talk about, and then we will move on to the bloopers that show deleted scenes, funny scenes. It shows a lot of ish. So, yeah, it just gets pretty crazy when we have to do a ton of work and then scrap it all up just to put on a new. I have no idea. I'm getting tired. It's like 5 in the morning while I'm recording this. Like, it's pretty good. It's nothing really more to talk about, so let's just go to the next one. Now we're gonna talk about how popular is Dead City. I feel like Dead City is known as a really popular series, probably the fact that it really is known as a popular series. It's better than Dio. It gets a lot of views, it gets a lot of people noticed, and that's probably how I started getting a lot of subscribers back then, because of the help of Dead City, and I really loved it. It was one of my favorite series I've ever made, because it's actually known as one of my popular series. It gets a lot of views, and just some people like it, some people hate it, but, you know, at least it's not as hated as Dio. You gotta be honest. And, well, yeah, of course, we're actually are making the Dead City movie sometime soon. Yeah, it's taking a while for that. And now let's talk about the survival horror to action. Now, the thing about that is survival horror to action. Sometimes me and Austin and Toxic we're thinking that the series should be moved on to action, but again, I thought we should just do survival horror, but when it's the end of the series, it's going to be epic. You know, like Resident Evil 7, where it's like all horror, and then it moves on to action. Just like that. Like, that would have been good. So, of course, that's actually what we wanted to do, and it was amazing. And I loved it so much. And the next one is Last Story. The arguments. We really need to talk about those. Alright, so let's talk about Dead City 4. Now, about Dead City 4, we kept having arguments back and forth and back and forth. Sometimes Austin and Max had arguments talking about how the episode should be, and, like, it was frustrating. And the fact also about Dead City 5, that of course is another great series, kinda, is supposed to be great. And it's just, everyone kept having arguments. Like, people couldn't, okay, I gotta shut my door real quick, wait. People kept having just disagreements over and over. It got really annoying to me, but now, since we don't have any arguments that much anymore about Dead City, and sometimes they move it to me where I have to decide if one of their choices. And then I'm like, yo, I'm gonna fix this. How about we choose mine? Because that's kind of how you fix a conversation, kinda. And yeah, sometimes I have been having arguments with Austin about Dead City. It just got really wild, and I didn't exactly like the ride of going to arguments and then going back to like being friends and arguments, because we always had arguments about Dead City because we couldn't think what the fuck to do. And then some people start arguments, and then people start arguments about Dead City, how it's like, oh my god, Dead City's so trash. Well, then there's your answer, buddy. To be honest, there's thousands of arguments every fucking day. It gets annoying, okay? That's all I'm saying. That's literally all I have to say about arguments. it gets annoying. I'm pretty sure you have the same feeling too, right? Arguments, like, and then when you choose a idea, everyone's like, shut the fuck up. And then that will be a huge problem about the last part of the series. Well, here we're going to the actual last one. We're going to be talking about how the Dead Sea Reboot was born. Now, the reason why Dead Sea Reboot was born is that for Dead Sea Remake, we completely didn't even add the things that we were supposed to add for Dead Sea Remake. We were supposed to put survival horror. We were supposed to add all types of story voices, like some backstory voices. Like, you know, the ones that we used to have for the Dead City Remake livestream. And, oh, it was crazy. It really was. Because I haven't been thinking, but to be honest, guys, I gotta tell you, Dead Sea Reboot might be canceled. It might be canceled because, to be honest, I would rather work on Dead City 7. The Dead Sea Reboot is unnecessary, and we might actually get rid of it. So I'm very sorry to tell you. But I really hope you enjoyed, guys. Sorry, Dead Sea Reboot will probably be canceled because the lack of Dead Sea Remake's already made. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe. Click the notification bell. And I'll see you later.